Here we are.
All right, perfect. It worked.
Sorry about that. We were out raising the pride flag, the progress
Oh, nice.
pride flag out in the square, and we had a huge contingent of our firefighters and PRP and P-flag parents and just other individuals in the community came out. It was probably the best attended pride flag raising that I have hosted, and on June 1, the start of Pride Month. So it gives me a lot of pride.
Nice. And sorry, do you know the events that are going on throughout the month?
Well, yes, I do. I'll tell you. But we were the first city in Canada to fly the progress flag. And I'm
Nice.
very proud of that as well. So we are having a social event with the Pride community on June 29th at Stonehooker Brewery, 6 to 8 p.m. and inviting everyone interested to please come join us. But these events are always well attended and a lot of fun as well. And of course, Stonehooker is a great venue for, hopefully it'll be a bright sunny day and we can be outdoors and it'll be lovely.
Cool. And I think they have a good patio there too, a huge patio there too, right?
Yes, it's the whole front yard, really.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
Cool.
That's where we'll be.
Awesome. So let's get to the questions. LRT Loop. Are we getting that back after June 2nd?
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Many of the parties have committed to bring back the loop into the downtown core. As we all know, there will be 40,000 new residents in the downtown and 10,000 new jobs over the next 20 years. And you know that there are 25 towers in the next 5 years. And then the Oxford OMERS project is bringing in another 30 towers, one per year after that. And that's just their project. So there's to be so many more 55 towers in the downtown. It's absolutely necessary. So we know that the Premier has spoken about it publicly, but did not include it in the budget, which was disappointing because I believe he used the budget pretty much as his election platform. But he has spoken about it publicly. So I'm very hopeful. Two of the other main parties, Liberal, Conservative, and Liberal, NDP, and Green have also committed to re-implementing the downtown loop, which would be great. So hopefully there'll be lots of discussion at Queen's Park about it, no matter who is elected tomorrow. Tomorrow is the provincial election.
Crazy. All right.
What are you expecting to see?
What am I expecting? I think I'm expecting what everybody else is expecting to see. Let's be honest.
Do you think you'll have any seat changes in Mississauga?
I don't think so.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, what do you think?
I think it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. It'll be interesting. I mean,
I've been following the Mississaugas very closely, all the ridings, and there are some of the polling companies that have predicted change in a couple of our ridings, but we'll wait and see. The only poll that matters is the poll on election day, we always like to say. So we'll see what happens tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
And we can bet a beer and share that at the Pride Social.
Okay, cool, awesome. So yeah, I'm more interested in the strategy each one took. So, where Doug Ford didn't talk to anybody. So, but anyways, let's talk about Peel leaving Mississauga. I know you've talked about that a lot.
Oh, you want Peel to leave Mississauga, or maybe Mississauga to leave Peel?
Did I say that? Mississauga leaving Peel. I'm sorry.
That would be okay with me too. Well, we've spoken about this many, many times, and you know how passionate I am that we control our own destiny and we stand on our own 2 feet and we make decisions that influence our city at one council meeting rather than two, and where there's all this duplication of staff and resources. And that we continue to fund the region up to 60% of all the costs, yet only have 50% of the representation. So, I think it's redundant. I think it's unnecessary. I think a city that is the 7th largest in Canada should really stand on its own 2 feet and control its own destiny. So now I will share with you that I have had previously conversations with at least two of the leaders of the two of the major parties. Well, actually all three, about this topic. And the Premier did say he would be willing to revisit the governance issue in the next term, which would be starting tomorrow, I suppose, or starting Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday morning. Yeah. And the Liberal and the NDP leader also were said supportive things. I won't say they committed, but they said very supportive things. They understand our position as, Canada's 7th largest city, being part of a larger region. So
sorry, aren't we the 6th?
So Winnipeg grew a little bit more.
Oh, really?
We did. And then we lost, I think it was 2,000 people we declined. And we know that was during COVID. And you know what happened in COVID? Many people sold their homes and moved to more remote areas because they didn't have to commute to work, and they were able to do so. So we did lose population, but very, very small. But Winnipeg grew a little more than we did, and so they're now 6, and we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back.
You will. I have to change my marketing material.
Oh no! Think about all the development in the downtown alone, let alone along Huron-Ontario, along the LRT corridor, or Brightwater and Lakeview, and of course Ninth Line lands. There's so much going on in our city. We're going to get it back.
We will get it back with your leadership. All right, let's talk about Pearson Airport. I know you were there, I think it was yesterday or the day before, in regards to just talking about, the chaos, the madness, the luggage carousel fiasco, everything that's going on. Can the city of Mississauga actually do something to alleviate this, or is it really all up to the feds?
Yeah, it's really up to the federal government and supported by the provincial government as well. So I have spoken with Minister Alghabra about the issue, and he's very supportive of our city, but also the needs of Toronto Pearson Airport, which is the Mississauga International Airport. Right? Okay. And he is acutely aware of the deficiencies and the staffing issues, and has announced $330 million to help address the issues, which will go towards more swifter screening to help move passengers, luggage, cargo through the airport. A lot of it is staffing levels at CATSA, at border inspection, immigration. So we need to, we really need to hire more people and then get them trained, right? So we want that airport to function as it did in pre-pandemic times. And we're expecting a big ramping up of individuals coming through our airport as it's the summer, as we approach summer, shall we say, and the tourist season is upon us. It's tourism week, as a matter of fact. So we took that occasion to make the announcement at the airport, and we're very grateful that in the afternoon we had the announcement from the federal government to announce the $330 million, which will go towards addressing some of those issues. So I know that Minister Alghabra has been working very closely with Deborah Flint, who's the CEO, and he's acutely aware of the issues. And let's be honest, he's at the airport every week as well, whether it's traveling back and forth to Ottawa or on his many trips that he has to take as transport minister. So they're very aware, and they brought forward some money. So I'm very, very encouraged that we can expect some improvements very, very soon.
The crystal ball time, when do you think it'll become back to pre-pandemic kind of service and levels? And
I think it's all. It's really. Have you been there lately? It's really ramping up, and the long lineups are more indicative of the staffing shortages than people traveling. But I know just anecdotally, I don't have the numbers before me. I'll see if someone runs into, I'm actually in the office today, running to give me some numbers about the increase in passenger counts at the airport. But we know it's significant, but we also know the delays have been very significant. I've heard an hour, I've heard 4 hours. So they need to really staff up.
Okay. Yeah, I did a really stupid thing, and I washed my passport.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm not waiting in line for it. I'm not going anywhere. So
just mail it in, right? I mailed mine in and got it back within, I don't know, it was 10 days, 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah,
we've heard about those lineups at Service Canada as well in the passport offices, because people are very eager to travel once again.
True.
They've been home in lockdown in Ontario for 2 years.
Any trips for you? No, you don't have to answer that. Mississauga is developing a music strategy that includes encouraging more venues and opportunities for musicians. Can you tell us more about this exciting project?
Right. You know, I'm very excited about this strategy, and I want to applaud the staff who worked on it as well as the team, which of course included Gil Moore of Triumph Metalworks. It's a big step forward for us. You know, we've been considered a festival city, but until you brand yourself a music city and put a strategy around it, you don't promote yourself and the musicians in your city in the way that you should. And of course, we have so much homegrown talent here, whether it is Metalworks or Billy Talent or all the great local artists. And you and I both know, because we've been down to Port Credit, all the live music scene that's down there. You know, Tom Barlow, I would really enjoy listening to him, or Chuck Jackson, or Patty Janetta Baker, who's outstanding. But there's so many local musicians, Marshall Dane, as a matter of fact, as well. And they've all performed down in the South, but we've got to get them out and around the city. And we need to open up and unlock more venues, so it'll attract our young people. I think that what they're looking for is more of a club atmosphere, not just a bar or a pub or the LAC, which of course is a beautiful performing arts venue, but it's not the kind of venue that they can find in the bigger cities like Toronto. So we need to unlock some of those venues as well, and that's what the strategy spoke to. But for us, it'll be about promoting our local talent, particularly our younger talent and our diverse talent as well, because that's what makes Mississauga so special, is the diversity of our people. So we need to support the diverse and younger people that are in the music industry.
Now, with this strategy, is it something like the city would actually create type a Massey Hall type thing, or is it? Are you looking at existing venues and kind of helping them out?
I think the thought is that these would be private venues.
Yeah.
There is a thought that we could look at it as a city, but it may not be the appropriate thing for the city to be operating that kind of clubby atmosphere, as you can well imagine. But certainly, we do have a number of performing venues like the Meadowvale Theatre, of course, Living Arts Centre, the Burnhamthorpe Theatre, which is the name for my apprentice. So we have a number of theatre venues where artists can perform, but I think they're looking for a different kind of atmosphere that the city wouldn't be engaged in, but certainly would help promote.
Cool. Kind of like
attract more artists.
Palace or something like that, I guess.
Yeah. Or I mentioned the government today. Something like along those lines.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. The Lakeview Innovation District. Can you explain what that is about and why is it so important to Mississauga?
Well, it's very important that we have the Innovation District. And of course, we have a new strategy around that our Economic Development Office has launched called IDEA Mississauga in the Innovation District, as well as a kind of a home base, shall we call it, for IDEA at the Square One Mall, where it will reside, right? And we'll launch the whole concept. But the innovation corridor is 20 acres of land right on the beautiful new development, which of course we all know Lakeview, what used to be the power plant. It sits on the water. It's a beautiful new mixed-use development that will feature 8,000 new units. So it could be, 16 to 20,000 people and about 20,000, or they're saying 9,000 long-term jobs, which would be specific to the innovation corridor. So we're really looking at defining that and what kind of centers of excellence may be included and what kind of firms might be included on that corridor. Of course, they would be job creating and high value added as well. So it's a very exciting opportunity. And of course, the 20 plus acres with the cross sector of business innovation up to 1.8 million square feet. So it really will be the heart of future innovation in Mississauga. So we're very excited about that. And we also know that Lakeview will feature some very innovative features, such as the district energy. And, we have been looking at vacuum waste and whether there's going to be a report to council next week on whether we're going to proceed with that. But we've been looking at some very interesting ideas to make it a cutting edge, very innovative, friendly, state-of-the-art mixed-use community by the lake. So it's very exciting.
The longest pier in Lake Ontario too.
That's right. That's right.
And I love how
that will become a tourist feature in itself. People will want to come and walk the pier. Absolutely. So that's very exciting.
I noticed that the Innovation Hub at Square One is directly beside Rec Room. Was that strategy or what?
Of course.
So the plan at Heartland Town Center is proposing to see housing incorporated with commercial mixed zoning. I saw the pictures of it. It looks pretty cool. It's like housing mixed with stores and retail zoning. Can you, I don't know, is this going to be the new kind of reality for Mississauga in the future?
You know, first let me back up and say that we have a plan called Reimagining the Mall in Mississauga, right? Because a lot of our malls, strip malls, featuring a lot of asphalt parking lots that aren't well utilized, let's be honest, those parking lots are not full other than on Christmas Eve, right? When people doing their Christmas shopping. So they could be put to better use. And so here was an opportunity that we discussed when we were discussing the growth plan at the region of Peel. What about Heartland? You know, that had been exempted from discussion, shall we say. And wouldn't it be more appropriate to have considered that and exempted it from having it maintained as employment solely, which if we hadn't opened the discussion, it would be. So we needed to have it exempted so that we can consider it for future redevelopment, where there would be a retail component as there is today, but of course a mixed use housing, because of course we all know we have a housing crisis and we need to build more affordable. So what better use for all those parking lots? And we changed the look of the retail at those large sprawling malls like Heartland, and include a component of residential and housing, and a mix of housing, so that there's a varied forms, varied sizes, and I would be very hopeful that a great deal of it would be affordable for people as well. So it's a very exciting opportunity when you think about it, and we're looking at that right across the city, but Heartland was not included when we did the analysis for the Reimagining the Mall. So when the discussion came up at the region of Peel, Councillor Parrish was very quick to identify Heartland and a few other malls, in fact, that had been exempt from the study as opportunities to unlock more housing.
Awesome. So you walk right out of your house into Walmart or coffee time.
You know, but it's always,
no coffee time.
It's always
like that's I mean.
You're showing your age. All right. But also, you know, it's always been one of my priorities to make us a more livable, walkable city. I moved here 22 years ago, and it gave me great anxiety. I couldn't walk to the local store, you know, to buy some groceries or a newspaper or milk. I want our city to be livable, walkable, and a complete community where you can live and work in your own community, and shop, of course. And this would help unlock some of that.
Awesome. So Fresh Air Fitness is back. Thursday night.
Yes.
Japan Festival is going to be back. I think Polish Festival just happened, right?
Let me talk about that. And you know what? I was supposed to. I just looked down and I was on a tangent here, so I didn't look down. But they are proposing 4,000 units on that Orlando site, and three 15-story buildings. So I think we could see quite a bit of housing there. That's great news. Awesome. Yes, I had a wonderful weekend. One of my favorite weekends. It featured the launch of SAUGA on Friday evening, and of course there are 23 cultures on display in 4 different locations. And I know that was done because of COVID, but I think it worked very well that we had only the 4 locations. So at Paramount Fine Food Center, and the sports zone area as well. And so the rinks, when there are 3 rinks plus the upstairs and the lower gymnasium of the sports zone, it was a combination of multiple cultures that we're featuring. You know, their art, their history, had kiosks, the music and the food as well. So it was very convenient and very compact, and it was very efficient to tour the 19 pavilions at the Paramount Fine Food Center, and only 3 were off-site. Of course, the Coptic Egyptian at the Coptic Center. Of course, always the Portuguese Pavilion, which is always at the Portuguese Cultural Center, which is a really good one as well. And then the Serbian Pavilion, which is at the Serbian Church at Dixie and Dundas. So those were the only 3 that were off-site. Everything else, we had some new pavilions, Korean, I think Iran, Iraq. So new pavilions added, and it was a lot of fun. So that launched Friday night, And then, yes, Saturday for me was all about Polish Heritage Day at Celebration Square. And boy, did we have fun. I have not seen so many people gathered together since pre-COVID. So at least 2 years, and the music went right into the night. They were partying to the last moment when when the staff pulled the plug and said, "Okay, people have to sleep in the condos around us. You got to cut this, guys." We had so much fun. What a great day and evening. And then, of course, on Sunday, I had to tour the rest of the pavilions over back at the Paramount Center. And then we also had, Councillor Parrish had a new fire station open, the Station 120, which is, they share with Councillor Kovac because it's on Eglinton, and he is the south side, she is the north side. And then we opened a new park right on Eglinton, Fairwinds Park, which features a great big huge pirate ship.
I saw that, yeah.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So, and if I could put a plug in for a local designer artist, Maya Sharbin, who many of us know, she's won many awards at the Martys. She had the launch of her new line on Sunday evening. So I left SAUGA and the corporate launches with the new park and the new fire station, and went to Maya Sharbin's launch as well. So she had a great evening and launched her new line. And she's just an incredible local talent as well. So congratulations. For me, it was a fun weekend, jam-packed with events and activities, but that's what I love.
So, Mayor Crombie, I'm going to put you on the spot because I have you once a month now, right? And we only have 3, and so I'm going to say, what events are you looking forward to the most in June? Okay. Those are easy, but that's a good question, right? Every month we'll do that.
Yeah, no problem. So, of course, I already mentioned the Pride Social on June 29th, and that will be at Stonehooker. But, of course, there are many events that are going to be on the square as well. Like there's the Zumba Fresh Fitness.
Yes.
And I've been trying to get out to one of those classes. I almost went last night because we had the accessibility community was out there, and they were promoting accessible Zumba. And we gave Councillor Sato an award for her 30 years of service promoting people with accessibility and removing barriers for accessibility challenged individuals. So that was a great night. And I also had my Black Caucus final dinner last night, and we were celebrating. So between a Zumba class and then I think Muslim Fest or Halal Fest is also, let me check, I know I have a note.
I think Halal Fest was a couple weeks ago, so it must be Muslim Fest.
Muslim Fest. Oh, here they are. Yes, Halal Food Festival on June 11th.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah. And of course, then you can tell your son movie nights are back.
Oh, we're there tomorrow.
Perfect. What's the movie being screened tomorrow? You probably know better.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, the new one.
The new one. Oh, and then I mentioned today as well because, of course, it's Italian Heritage Month in Ontario, and Ital Fest is always a very popular festival as well, and that'll be August 12th and 13th, and they're celebrating their 10th anniversary. So that's always a great event to come and celebrate and enjoy, the music and the food, and then learn a little bit about the history of Italian Canadians.
Awesome. Well, it looks like Celebration Square will be hopping this summer, so I will hopefully see you there at least 1 or 2 events, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure you will. And don't forget, our Japan Festival will be later in August, too.
Well, I will be the MC. I'll introduce you. All right?
Okay, yes, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.